So today we're going to talk about preparing for the holiday season. So when I recorded this, it's in November, December, okay, by the time I record it and it goes live. And there are so many holidays around the world, depending on where you're watching from, um, that take place during this month. And we can have a lot of expectations when it comes to holidays. So in my family, I celebrate Christmas. And sometimes when I think about, especially in the past, I'm a little bit better at it now, and I want to share with you part of my progress. When I would think about Christmas, I would always, envision this beautiful tree and all of these decorations and, all the presents to wrap and, all the shopping that's involved in. And I think in where I'm from in Canada, thankfully, our Thanksgiving is a lot earlier. It's in October, but for my American friends, they have their Thanksgiving, and then, a handful of weeks later, they're coming up on Christmas. And that can be a really stressful time. So I think, and this is sometimes feels counterintuitive, we have to think about not raising the bar every year during the holiday season, but lowering it. Okay. When we lower the bar, it doesn't mean that we are showing up less for our family and the people that we love and maybe the events that we may be hosting or attending. It just means that we're going to take some of the pressure off of ourselves. So this time last year, I did a coaching call with my fellow colleague and friend, Linda B. And she had a live video on Facebook, and we were talking about the holidays. And I had said that one of the things that I don't do anymore is Christmas cards. So I was like, you know what, guys, if compiling all the Christmas cards and writing them and addressing them and stamping them and mailing them out, if that starts to feel like too much, you don't have to send out Christmas cards in order for people to know that you love them. So I think I started a minor riot on the internet because there were some people that had some really strong feelings about Christmas cards. But here's the thing, it's a choice. If you love doing the Christmas card thing or it's super important to you, then absolutely do it. I'm not saying don't do it at all. I'm not saying, no, you definitely can't do Christmas cards. I'm saying, think about the choice that you have. Okay. One of my clients used to have multiple Christmas trees all around her home. She has now cut back on the amount of trees that she has. Okay. As she gets older, it's been a lot of work. And, she's had a lot of big life changes. And it just, she sat down and thought about it and was like, is this really going to bring me a lot of joy, or is it just right now a lot of work? So she changed the way that she celebrates the holidays. Okay, there's a lot of power in that because the holiday season is not for us to strive towards burnout and exhaustion. Okay, the main part of any holiday is about celebrating our families, being with people we love, whether that's the family you're born into or your family of choice. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. So the holidays is about togetherness, and you get to choose what that looks like for you. Okay, and you get to choose how you're going to interact with people, and you get to choose, events that you may attend and things that you may or may not host. But I don't want you to think that you constantly have to raise the bar every year, because that gets really, really hard to maintain, especially if you're a perfectionist, because we tend to never be happy with our choices and the way that things end up. We're like, oh, I wish I did this, or I could have done this better. So my thought that I want to leave you with is, how can you celebrate? And this applies to any season. Okay, but how can you celebrate in a way that feels good to you, where you also can thoroughly enjoy the people that you're spending time with? And that may also look like pre-planning. Okay. I am a person who has had a tendency to leave things last minute, and it lights a fire under my arse and off I go. But I also realize that brings with it a lot of stress. So I actually try to map things out where I start ahead of time. And that way I'm not doing a whole bunch of stuff really close to the deadline. I'm doing it in smaller chunks leading up to. Okay. And then that way, by the time I get to the event, I'm not completely burnt out and exhausted. So If you love your Christmas cards, if you love your holiday cards, if you love sending birthday cards and anniversary cards, then absolutely do that. But there may be some ways during some holidays that you can pull back, and you have permission to do that too. Take care, everybody.